Hello, everyone. I wanted to take a moment and show you a few things about how to play octaves accurately. There's a song called The Joy we played this morning at a church where I was visiting, and it's got an octave part at the opening of the song. It sounds like this. Let me get my keyboard visible for you. There it is. Now, that figure happens like 5,000 times during the song. Not really, it happens about 12. But 4 times at the intro, twice after the first chorus, twice after another chorus, a bunch of times at the end of the song. So you want to do everything you can. I'm showing you my whole arm here. You want to be sure that there's not tension in your forearm, in your wrist, or in your hand itself. So let's look at some ways you can avoid tension when you're playing octaves, okay? So the first tip is, if you're able to stretch an octave with 4 on top and 1 below, do that, and I'll show you why. I've got big hands, so if you aren't able to reach an octave with 4 on top, don't worry about it, but I'll show you why. If you are able to do that, it can be a real help in you having accurate playing of this part. So I'm going to play it kind of slowly here. It goes E, F sharp, G sharp on top, and if you can play a 4-1 for the F sharp and then a 5 for the G sharp, you end up with a consecutive finger movement for the top notes instead of having to go 5, 5, 5. It's just a bit harder to be consistently accurate. You can certainly do it, and some of the other tips I'll show you can help it be consistently accurate. But if you're able, go ahead and stretch your hand a bit wider and play the 4-1 octave when possible on top. And in my hopefully legible manuscript just above the tip over here, there it is. It's hard to point. You can see the fingering I've written out. Now, the next tip is leave the notes early and let your sustain pedal help you still make the sound that you want to play. So as we play this figure, if you can focus on my hand, as soon as I strike the pitch, I'm moving and going to the next pitch, because the sustain pedal will hold, will sustain those pitches for me. So when I strike the E, I'm already on the F sharp. And as soon as I strike the F sharp, I'm on the G sharp. So if I played it without the sustain pedal, listen to how it would sound. Now, it sounds a little odd, but the sustain pedal makes it become a legato line like this. And like that. So use your sustain pedal, get off those notes early. Almost act as though your keyboard's hot and you don't want to stay on the keys too long. I hope it's not hot. If so, get it to a repair shop quickly. That could not be good. Next tip, relax your hand often. For instance, watch what happens here. When I get to the G sharp, almost every measure has a half note octave on beats 3 and 4 of the measure. If I keep my hand rigid for those notes, hold, it can result in tension, again, in the arm and in the hand, because you're holding that octave shape. Relax your hand as often as you can. So for instance, as soon as I've struck the G sharp, raise your hand. Don't necessarily close it completely like that, but you can at least relax it from the stretched octave. And that's going to help you have a less tension in your arm and be more accurate as you play. So again, relax. Whoops, sorry, don't play wrong notes. Relax. Relax again. Relax. Yeah, so the sustain pedal and relaxing your hand and letting that 4-1 octave can all help you execute this passage with accuracy and without fatigue. So if you notice as you're playing a song like this that's perhaps more aggressive and has you striking the keys harder, ask yourself if you feel tension in your arm. And if you do, I sometimes feel tension right here, kind of below my wrist. That's not a good thing. You want to have a relaxed mechanism, even though you're doing some demanding things with your hands. So if you feel that tension, reach out to somebody. You can email me, you can put your thoughts in the comments below, and I'd be happy to respond to you. Or find a teacher in your area who might give you some thoughts about your technique, because it matters. You want to be a relaxed keyboard player in your worship team, a relaxed technician at your instrument. So try those three things, and I'm confident that they can help you be more accurate and enjoy playing the song more. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.